Well, I've had a wonderful life. I have to say that I've had probably the best jobs in the world. My professional career spans about 42 years now. A lot of this had to do with photonics, display technology. How do we basically generate and relay photons into the eyes? But humans we have a remarkable visual system. But we only see a very small part of that based upon the sensitivity of our receptors in our eye. We have three pigments in the receptors of our eye: red, green, and blue. We wanted to take advantage of everything we could learn about how animals perceive light. We believed all along that every man-made as well as nature-made object really has its own unique signature, nature's fingerprint. Nature's fingerprint. And so that led us to this idea: what we want are devices that have eyes, where the Cyclops would have, in essence, 32 different colors that it looked at. When we drive it up to different steps, 25 different current levels, we have 25 times 32 eyes to see. And then on the receiving side, if we had a way to basically look at different spectral returns, then what we would have is maybe 3,000, 4,000 eyes. And then by taking these 3,000 different colors spectra to look at, we can discriminate nature's fingerprint. We take a sample. So we have, in essence, 3,000 values for each time we turn on a detector at a particular current level. So we put that into a table and said, okay, that is the fingerprint of this particular specimen. So we store that. And then what we do is we look at another specimen, and we take a fingerprint of that. And then we look at the two fingerprints and see, are they the same or are they different? Now, our technology is sensitive enough to be able to discern the difference between these two, especially if we have somehow modified one of these. Everything is different. Not only can we do that accurately in terms of discriminating between the two, we can do it really fast, up to 1,000 times a second. Well, not only do we have that ability to see things that counterfeiters cannot see, but we go beyond the visual range, into the infrared, into the ultraviolet. Furthermore, if we wanted to, we could put a signature in this. We can intervene and put into an object a special color that no one could see. Yes, an invisible barcode would be easy to do. But one of the applications of the technology is for authentication, certainly. But there are many other applications. If you're only using human vision, then it is easy to counterfeit. For example? We believe that there's so many applications for the technology that go beyond the authentication. As a matter of fact, many of the exciting ones have to do with medicine, healthcare, with environment, with agriculture, to determine when we need to irrigate or fertilize, or when to harvest fruit from the human body. How we can use multispectral light to look at the skin, look at molds, look at into the eye. And from those different windows into the body, we can perhaps determine and diagnose various diseases or maladies that may be occurring. What we're doing is taking nature's way of discrimination and using it and augmenting it so that it can apply in so many ways. So yes, the applications are multivariate across our lives, the things that confront us in terms of medicine and healthcare and terrorism. Well, there are really sort of three considerations about technology. We are able to get very high accuracy in terms of our ability to discriminate different objects from the color fingerprint standpoint. The second advantage of the technology, it fundamentally is really simple. It's elegant. The scalability of the technology is there. We can make it as big as you want to make it, and probably make it about as small as you want to make it. We're now talking about a technology, instead of being maybe thousands to tens of thousands of dollars, of being hundreds of dollars, and still having the same performance. Plexing, but not only are we turning on each of the LEDs, we're turning those on at 25 different levels. So every time, it's like having 3,000 color receptors. So we're actually doing an improvement on Mother Nature. And of course, we can look into either side of the spectrum if we want to, into the infrared or into the ultraviolet.
Four steps.
Was that the full-on demo?
Okay. So this is the authentic one, and this is the counterfeit. And so.
Blurring them out a little bit. Standing up a little bit.
Very well, and we've got a lot of footage. I think we have to probably, he's got a good hour of footage.
Mm-hmm.
And which to edit down to, a couple 3 minutes or however many minutes we're going to end up having. So I think
willing to do a little animation for us. So you've worked with him before, right?
And depending on if we can have just a static view of the prism and light passing through the prism, that's something that I can. System. So this adds an additional level of encryption above and beyond any conventional encryption methods that are used to transmit the signal. Some of the advantages to the Cyclops approach are that it's extremely small. Another advantage is that the system is very physically robust. There are no moving parts in the system. In addition to being small and robust, it can also be very high speed. LEDs can be turned on and off at millions of times per second, and photodetectors can be read from millions of times per second. So there's a potential for the technology to integrate into applications that require very fast performance of the photo. So if companies have existing databases of spectral data, that can be used in a fairly straightforward way to generate databases for the.
see it out there.
I think it's a good application.
How much information can be encoded in something like that?
Okay, so one of the more interesting applications of the Cyclops technology is as a reader for invisible barcodes, which can then encode information such as the date of manufacture of the software, where it was manufactured, the license number, really any information you'd like to encode.